Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is August the 1st, 2022, and today the topic is bear fruit. It's my birthday month, y'all. It's my birthday month, first day of August for 2022. um, Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. Mine was just fine. Not too much to report. Saturday was kind of a chill day. Not too much was happening, I would say. Other than the things I do, right? Yesterday, the fam, the old happy says, we went to visit a church. What is it called? Noonday Missionary Baptist Church. We went to go visit there. My whole little family, Papa, Mommy, and NJ. And so, yeah, that was nice to do that. Also, over the weekend, I finalized some birthday plans. Let me see. I think it was on Saturday morning ish. I was talking to hubby, and I was like, "What we gonna do for my birthday?" Because the thing is, I'm always planning all the functions. Like, it's just very rare that you know someone has planned something for me. You know what I mean? So anywho, so I joke on him as well as my homeboy, my co-star of that movie that we're working on called The Cast. My brother from another mother, Kelvin. I joke on both of them because I'm like, listen, I'm gonna need both of y'all to coordinate some things for me. Now I got to be the one. It's my birthday, but I'm gonna be it's funny because on the way home yesterday we were talking on the way home from church, and we were talking about the birthday plans. He's like something, I can't remember exactly what was said, but something was like who's hosting or something like that. And I'm like he's like, oh yeah, you are hosting. Technically you are hosting. And I'm like, but it's my birthday. How I'm gonna be the hostess and the birthday person? So anyway, man. But anyway, yeah, I'm excited. Basically, he thought of the idea for us to have a house party, and the thing is, man, even if we doing something in his mind, I guess he figured, yeah, we'll get on the grill, have some people over, and that will be it. But I mean, I don't know. I guess we do birthdays and celebrations and whatnot big on my side of the family, I guess. And so, or just because, again, like when you have a business that's all about bringing people's parties to life, you know what I mean? You want your party to be brought to life too, So I'm over here like, well, what's the theme gonna be? And X, Y, and Z. He's like, there's no theme, no theme. But anyway, we'll see. We'll see what the Lord do. But I'm excited about the house party. Shout out to hubby for coming up with the idea. And shout out to the people that's already, seeming to be excited to come and celebrate, man. So yeah, that should be happening at the end of the month. But yeah, so excited about that. Also I want to say over the weekend, and yeah, I feel like this happened over the weekend. Basically, some of the interviews that I've done has gone live. So shout out to God and Gigs for featuring your girl. They said, how do they name their thing? They're like cultivating the man. See, if I knew I was going to do all this dropping, then I would have wrote it all down to say. But basically, it's like cultivating a creative life of freedom or something like that. I'm like, that sounds like a good old workshop or a good old book. So shout out to God and Gigs. You guys can hear your girl on there. As well as the conversation with the atheist. The gentleman actually posted it on YouTube. It was his first YouTube video. And he asked, could he post it? My thing was, and see, the Lord told me that day, like I felt it in my spirit that I needed to go ahead and do my makeup and all that stuff, but I didn't do it because I was like, the man said it was gonna be audio. I know I got another, interview that I needed to do after that, but I just was like, I didn't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like doing my makeup or getting dutied up like I usually would do. And then lo and behold, not only did the man you end up using the video, but I'm doing all kind of little stuff that I wouldn't have been doing if it was going to be a video. Like I was under the impression that it was going to be audio only. And so I'm over here drinking water and I had on like a little regular tank top, and you know what I mean, and just having this conversation, not knowing, like I said, the Lord had told me to go ahead and do my makeup and stuff, but I didn't do it, and here we go. So listen to the Lord, y'all. Listen to the Lord. But it's all good. I mean, obviously, I guess I'm a pretty confident person. I get on here every day with my robe on and whatnot, no makeup and all of that, hair looking crazy and all that. So I mean, y'all used to that, I guess, with me. So anyway, yeah, that video is out there, and yeah, hopefully he'll be coming to GSL really soon as well. Yeah, I think that was all the announcements that I had for you all. So yeah, be on the lookout for those different interviews, and you can hear your girl chit-chatting with people from around the world, man, from around the world about just sharing my testimony, man. And it's been a blessing. It truly, truly has. But let's get into this conversation about bearing fruit, right? And so this morning, basically, I listened to the prayer meditation. I was kind of distracted a little bit. There's a lot of other little things on my mind this morning, but basically, the prayer meditation that I listened to was about bearing fruit. And man, I meant to write it down. See, I'm just slacking today. What's happening, man? I meant to write down the little quote that it had on the prayer meditation this morning. Ooh, can I try to remember it? It was something along the lines of, if you're in Christ, you're going to bear, those planted in Christ will bear good fruit, or good fruit is the result of being, I don't know. See, I'm messing it up, but it was good. It was a good little quote. Maybe I'll add it to the Go Deeper section. We'll see. We'll see if I add it, or we'll see. If you stay tuned, and when I'm doing the after show part, if I can pull it up, then I'll pull it up and I'll read it to you guys. But so stay tuned for the end if that's something you're interested in hearing. But anyway, well, those that are watching live, sorry, podcast people. Yeah. So bearing fruit, yeah, that stood out in my heart and mind this morning, to bear fruit. And when I started looking up the verses, they, were resonating with me. And here we go. Let's see what the Lord has to say today. So John 15:8, it says, "By this my Father is glorified, that you bear much fruit, and so prove to be my disciples." Y'all, we got to bear the fruit to prove to be God's disciples. Like, if you're not out here bearing fruit, then are you truly a disciple? That's what I'm receiving today. Because this is the way that God is glorified. It was funny. I was reflecting on that conversation with the atheist this morning. It came across my heart and mind, and I don't know if it was just something to go alongside of this, but here we go. So basically, I know at one point he asked me, what is it that, I guess that confirms my faith, or like, why do you have this faith in God? And I told him during the conversation that basically, I've seen what he's done in my life, and I gave a couple of examples, one small and I guess one that's big to me. But, there's a lot of examples, right? And at the end of the day, like, when you think about the good that's in the world, like, you think about nonprofit organizations that are, feeding the hungry and just all these different things. And I'm not saying that people that ain't Christian, it's not doing that stuff too. But what I'm saying is, a lot of the times that type of stuff is spearheaded by people that are believers, people that are Christians, people that have hope, people that, believe that God has created them, right, to bear fruit, basically, And so, I mean, even this is an example. I know I say it all the time. I can't do nothing but share my testimony, y'all. It's easy for me to share my testimony rather than trying to share other people's testimonies. But I mean, again, God, Sex, and Love, this whole thing was, yeah, it was spearheaded because I was looking for something, and it wasn't really around what I was going through. Look, y'all, like, she just be trying to name drop. No, I'm just telling y'all though. I mean, when I was going through my cultivation period, I was looking around for content and I couldn't find it. And that, as well as, my Bible study experience and me reading the Bible and hearing that I need to be a disciple and make disciples, listening when I was listening to the sermons and whatnot, that of the ministers that are speaking into my life, like, hey, you need to get out here and do what God has created you to do, X, Y, and Z. All those things played a factor into just about everything I'm doing right now in my life, and I hope that these things are encouraging, inspiring the next person. So bearing fruit, it just goes beyond. And again, I share with you guys again, during that time of my life, the cultivation period, I was really faced with that choice of being like, hey, do you want to do something that's going to last? Because at the end of the day, it was revealed to me that there's nothing, basically, that nothing else is important. Nothing else is going to last but what you do for God. And so I guess when you get that into your heart and mind, and when you think about that and you realize that, okay, everything else is worthless, then why? I mean, you can make the decision if you want to continue to do worthless things. But me, I was like, well, hey, I want to do something that's not worthless. I want to do something that's going to last. I want to do something that's going to, help people, or whatever the case is. And so here I am, sacrificing, look, my little sleep time, in the mornings and whatnot. I could be just, reading a book, knocked out, anything else, right? But I'm up this morning by the grace of God, not only studying his word, but sharing it, and it's been a blessing in my life. It's been a blessing to me, and it's gone out into, I would say, anybody that I've encountered since I've started. And so, yeah, I mean, we need to be bearing fruit, y'all. Basically, I say all of that to say, what that verse said is to bear the fruit, so God would get the glory, Let's keep going, y'all. John 15:16. It says, you did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you that you should go and bear fruit, and that your fruit should abide, so that whatever you ask whatever you ask the Father in my name, he may give it to you. Yeah, man, at the end of the day, he chose us, and not the opposite. I mean, I know a lot of times, okay, yeah, we got free will, right? And you can choose to do, to believe in God and all those different things. But, at the end of the day, I guess, again, like when you realize that God is the ultimate planner, that he created everything, including you, including your thoughts, then I guess you'll realize the truth of this, right? It's like, hey, at the end of the day, I chose you. I created you. I chose you. This is what I created you to do. And, a lot of times we want to take the ownership. We want to say it's us, and want to believe that, yeah, it was me. I did this. But I mean, I think it's humbling to realize that, at the end of the day, God is in control of everything. Again, I think back on that conversation with the atheist. Something that came into my mind this morning is just, how intricate we are. I feel like we are proof that there's God. There's everything around, everything is proof that there's God. Like I did mention in that conversation that basically that everything is created, but I mean, if you just look at us as humans, like look at how intricate we are. Look at all the little details. You can't say that an accident. I mean, you can say it, but it doesn't make sense in my mind, in my humble opinion. It doesn't make sense to believe that nothing made such an intricate and unique human being. Me, you, each and every one of us. And then not only that, but then we're all unique. Even, the fingerprints and everything, look at our bodies. Just look at that. You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many little details. And it's just for people to believe that it happened from nothing. It's just like, that doesn't even make sense. That to me. Because I mean, do we have any proof of that in any other aspect? Like, I mean, I guess scientists look at her meta miraculous. Can you tell me? Nah, like, but for real, like, is there anything that proves that idea where nothing no, with like nothing at all, became something without some type of outside influence. If y'all can tell me some proof of that or show me that, then or whatever, comment below. You know, and let me know where to look for that type of information. If you want to, you know, chit chat about it. But I feel like that's a good question. There's anything like there's just anything that proves that nothing creates something very intricate without outside influence, then hey, you know, maybe I'll stand corrected in this idea. But I don't know. That was just came to my heart and mind this morning. So let me keep going. Y'all let me know. Anyway, John 15:5, it says, I am the vine, you are the branches. Whoever abides in me and I in him, he it is that bear fruit. Much fruit, for apart from me, you can do nothing. Whoo, y'all, apart from the Lord, we can do nothing. You know, I'm reminded of that testimony I heard that where the man, he was saying that he was having a supernatural experience and it felt like a dream or whatever the case is, and he saw God giving him breath, and that was the only way he was able to take breath. Like, again, if you think about that scenario, that hey, the only reason I'm able to breathe right now is because God is allowing me to breathe, God is giving me each breath, like that. I mean, you know, again, I had never even thought about that, I don't think, until I heard that testimony. And I mean, that's deep. That's deep. If God is giving us each and every breath, right? Like, whew, y'all, I mean, I don't know. Y'all can let that marinate on your heart, souls, and minds and think about that. But yeah, I mean, it says here though, apart from me, you can do nothing. So yeah. I got a couple more verses, y'all, just a couple. Matthew 7:19. It says, I was doing so good. It's like every tree. Thank you, Lord. Every tree that does not bear good fruit is cut down and thrown in the fire. Woo! Okay, so that's Pope, right? We don't like that. We don't like to know that if you ain't bearing the good fruit out here, that you're gonna get thrown in the fire. You know, sounds like a good representation of what they say about, you know, our life and hell. I'm just telling you what it sounds like to me. But yeah, I mean, if we see that happening in our life, right, we see that, okay, and if this is not bearing fruit, we throw it away, we dispose of it. You know, anything that's not doing good, right, or whatever the case is, we tend to get rid of it, or whatever the case is. I don't want to be that. You know, I want to be out here bearing some good fruit, you know, so I can live and live more abundantly, and not get, you know, thrown into the fire. But anywho, and I know that's, I think I shared with you guys, a friend of mine where we were talking, and she was letting me know that, you know, I guess the hellfire messages are, I don't know if she was saying like they're old, they're outdated, they're, you know, people don't respond to that. But I'm like, well, there might be people that do respond to that. Like, at the end of the day, God can use each and every, I feel like, in my whole opinion, that he used everything to draw us near to him, try to draw us near to him, to remind us of him, to encourage us and inspire us to even consider him. So I believe, yeah, that he would use the hellfire message, because that could be something that sparks something in someone's heart and mind to be like, even if it's that fear of going to hell that brought them to Christ, so then they can ultimately build that relationship with him to bear fruit, you know, and get other people. That could be something that has you know, brought people to Christ. On the flip side, again, the love, the grace, the mercy, all of that could be something that brings people to Christ. I mean, I feel like it's all valid and it's all important. But anywho, one last verse here, and it's Galatians 5:22-23. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. Against such things there is no law. If you wanted to know what's good, if you wanted to know what the good fruit is, then it will be all of those different things, according to the Bible and whatnot. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's what we need to do. We need to ask ourselves, what type of fruit are we bearing? Is the fruit that we're bearing, can it be defined by those things that I just shared? Uh, you know, does this represent what I bear? Uh, y'all can think about that though, y'all, because that's the juice. That is the juice. The Bible verse of today is 1 Corinthians 10:31. It says, "Whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatever ye do, do all to the glory of God." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. And there you go, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, anybody listening to the sound of my voice. I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired by today's juice. Let me do this real quick so I can read this quote to y'all. Let me just do this. Here we go. Bear fruit. Just trying to save that really quickly. Okay. While that's saving, that should be saving and not getting in the way for me to do this. Let me read this quote to you all from the prayer meditation for today. So the theme said, those planted in soil, those planted in the soil of God's love will produce good fruit always. How beautiful is that, y'all? Those that are planted in the soil of God's love will produce good fruit always. Yeah, man, if you want to produce some good fruit, then that's the type of soil you need to be in. I hope that you guys are encouraged, inspired. Go deeper. Feel free to check out the Go Deeper section and let those verses marinate on your heart, souls, and minds. Not too much for today. Again, I know what I should be doing today. Look, y'all be praying that our house is presentable for the house party on my birthday. Like, Lord, we having guests. Got to make sure the place is presentable, But and then I told hubby, I'm like, look, I ain't hosting. I'm just gonna go around and have a good time. He's like, well, yeah, technically I am hosting. I'm like, yeah, you hosting. You the host with the most. Yeah, but I'm still over here planning little things. I'm over here like, what should the kids be doing? Like, should we have something for the kids? And what kind of favors am I gonna give? And what's the theme? And stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I'm looking into and stuff on the flip side. But I'm excited. I'm excited to have some birthday plans. I'm excited about, everything God is doing with me, for me, and through me. Birthday month, brand new day, brand new month. I hope you guys are encouraged and inspired. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow if the Lord's will. Bye-bye.